Hello everyone, you welcome to this edition of the 6 p.m. newscast on Equinoxe television. I am Bable Jonathan. In our top stories, wild flames consume over 200 sheds in one of the main markets in the northwest regional capital, Bamenda. The fire occurred at the food market in Bamenda last night. In the meantime, the government steps up efforts to implement the ongoing decentralization process in the Republic of Cameroon. The Minister of Decentralization and Local Development, George Elanga Obam, has instructed the newly appointed and installed officials of that ministry to ensure the effective implementation of President Paul Biya's instructions as far as the decentralization process is concerned. This is considered as government's way out of the Anglophone crisis. Stay with us. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on this edition of the Primetime News on Equinoxe Television. We begin in the crisis-stricken northwest region of the Republic of Cameroon, precisely in the regional capital, Bamenda, where while the crisis rocking that part of the country as well as the southwest region deepens further, traders at the food market in Bamenda are now lamenting over the huge loss incurred in a fire incident that occurred last night, and the fire incident the flames ravaged over 200 shops in that market, and the traders are counting their loss in millions of francs CFA. Frederick Takan is on the line to Bamenda.
The fire incident started at 2:30 a.m. according to the head of the fire brigade here in Bamenda. And according to some sources, it seemed as the fire started in a shop early at that moment, 2:30 a.m. But the guards who were there on the spot, they did not know the number to contact. They started calling the 116, thinking that the number belongs to the fire brigade company. Unfortunately, so it was somebody around the market who finally called the fire brigade, who came there and tried to quench the fire. Food market where the fire incident occurred, shops there are built with some temporary material. So that is why the fire succeeded to take up to 200 sheds, and the other 1,000 were saved by the fire brigade who came there on the spot. But also, it is still yet unknown, according to official sources, the source of the fire, because investigations were open, and it's later on that they will really give out a statement to clarify the opinion where and what really caused the fire incident. And it is also good to precise that the food market is here where most of the inhabitants of the region here in Bamenda, they go to buy their food stuff. So many of those who have shop there are crying losses estimated up to millions of billion francs CFA. This is not the first time. The first incident occurred in March 2017, and it was the same spot, the same area that burned today, that was also burned in that March 2017.
And just recently, another incident occurred close to the market.
Yes, about 100 meters from the market. That was a private place, a private business place set by somebody who has created up to 20 shops around. So that area also got burned. And up till today, we do not know the source of the fire, but probably due to short circuit.
Thanks a bunch, Frederick Takan and Bu Stella, our correspondents in the northwest region of the Republic of Cameroon. And as the crisis deepens further, the number of internally displaced persons continue rising. Many of them in the hundreds are streaming in to some French-speaking parts of the country, notably the littoral and the west region of the country, as a result of their proximity to the crisis-stricken northwest and southwest regions of the country, and many of the IDPs are now living in precarious conditions. Some of them in Konsamba, in the Mongo division of the littoral region of the country, have received food aid from the World Food Program. For me, Armstrong Sanda reports.
Food insecurity is among the numerous problems characterizing the worsening Anglophone crisis in Cameroon. Internally displaced families, those living in neighboring countries, and individuals still braving the crisis in the two English-speaking regions of the country suffer from acute food shortage, according to observers. Farmlands have been abandoned and food stores destroyed as the crisis deepens. In a bid to ameliorate the situation, the World Food Program, together with the Red Cross, extended its food aid program to the internally displaced persons of the Anglophone crisis living in Konsamba, Mongo division of the littoral region. According to officials of the Red Cross, the program, which is in its first phase, targets over 14,000 internally displaced people from the crisis-hit northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon living in the Mongo division, littoral region of the country. In Konsamba, families took home 10 kilograms of rice, a liter of vegetable oil, salt and cereals, whose quantity has been qualified by some of the recipients as below expectation.
They have given just one name, the head of the family alone, whereas the family has more, that has children and other people that is taking care. Somebody like me, I have 10 in my house, but they have given me just a liter of granule oil and 10 kilograms of rice, which is not normal.
Nous sommes même pas contents parce que non, nous sommes, il y a 15 personnes, tu vois non, 15 personnes, mais regarde ce qu'on a donné, donc il n'atteint même pas 10 kilos.
Others say the distribution process failed to respect the registration procedure. Some on their part went home empty-handed even after having been duly registered. Like Oliver Twist, some of the displaced persons thank the World Food Program and the Red Cross while calling on them to do more.
And the situation is worsening by the day as the number of displaced persons or persons displaced by the Anglophone crisis continue rising, with people living, as you heard in that report, up to 15 of them in a very tiny room and of course in precarious conditions. And the United Nations organization is concerned by the situation in the two Anglophone regions of the country. Some officials of the UN were recently in the southwest regional chief town Boya to see how the situation is unfolding and of course to bring some aid to the persons who are affected by the ongoing socio-political and security crisis rocking the two Anglophone regions of the Republic of Cameroon. Derek Jato reports from Boya.
The atrocities meted on the southwest region and its people during these 2 years of armed conflict in the region is today attracting some bigger names like the United Nations and some local non-governmental organizations into the region. They are here to donate humanitarian aid to the victims. And at the Buya Council Conference Hall, the governor of the Southwest region, Mr. Bernardo Kaliabila, is chairing a meeting on how this humanitarian aid from the government and non-governmental organizations can be coordinated on the field. Reason why all the actors were invited to the meeting.
That's why we like the administration, would like to know all the assistance the various stakeholders here will carry to the various groups so that we should not be sustaining terrorists.
Interventions from the United Nations agencies and local non-governmental organizations centered on their actions on the field. That is what they are doing or what they will do in the distribution of relief aid. But critics say the victims no doubt will salute this gesture, but that is not even their goal. For their goal is for this Anglophone crisis to be solved, for them to come back home and continue their normal life activities. Because for how long will they keep feeding them in the bushes? Also invited were the clergymen, but the mayor of Boya, Mr. Ekema Patrick Esunge, expressed his worry with the representation of the men of God.
I didn't hear the host bishop or his representation. The moderator is just 2 minutes drive from here, but he will prefer.
The moderator was represented. The Imam of Boya was present, and sources say the Bishop of Boya was not invited, reason why he did not come to the meeting. At the end of the day, a chant prayer was organized by these men of God, sending a message that together they can better succeed.
And the lone local non-governmental humanitarian organization that has been to the bushes where the displaced persons, many of them are living in the northwest and southwest regions of the country, was recently in other parts of the country, notably in the littoral region of the country, in Lum precisely, to bring some aid to some displaced persons. And according to figures from the IF Foundation, there are about 5,000 pupils and students who have streaming to the northwest region of the country, who have moved across from the southwest into the littoral region of the country and are now living there, seeking refuge, and many of them living in precarious conditions. And the foundation was there yesterday to bring some aid to the displaced persons. We'll be coming back to this report in subsequent news editions. In the meantime, government authorities are accelerating the ongoing decentralization process, believed to be the way out of the Anglophone crisis, according to the President of the Republic, Paul Biya, who announced the effective implementation of decentralization on the ground. And now the Ministry of Decentralization and Local Development has its complete administrative mechanism since the institution was created last March. Only the minister was appointed. The other officials were recently appointed and commissioned into their functions. They were commissioned into their functions yesterday by the Minister of Territorial Administration, or rather Decentralization and Local Development, George Elanga Obam, who urged the newly appointed and installed officials to ensure the effective implementation of President Paul Biya's instructions as far as the decentralization process is concerned. Now take a listen to Minister George Elanga Obam. He is the Minister of Decentralization and Local Development.
That is a sign to those who have been promoted today, is to make sure that the political speech of the President of the Republic becomes a reality. That means decentralization can be seen, can be effective. I need them to be significant in what they are doing and to help our population to feel that what we are doing is for them.
À l'accomplissement heureux de vos missions.
The Minister of Decentralization and Local Development of the Republic of Cameroon, George Elanga Obam, speaking there. And as end-of-year festivities draw near, insecurity is on a steady rise in the country's economic capital, Douala. Inhabitants of Douala are attacked by alleged bandits even in the day. Mimi Mefo reports.
If there is a major challenge which the population of Douala has to deal with on a daily basis, it is the problem of insecurity. In several parts of Douala 5 like Lokpom, Makepe, Koto, Lokbosu, bandits assault passers-by and traders even in broad daylight, as this man explains.
Même ici à la télé, même là, il y a des gars qui viennent même en pleine journée. Ils nous agressent, ils nous taxent souvent.
The prevailing situation was not alarming years ago, and as he explains, there is the need for security to be reinforced in these neighborhoods.
Avant 4 boutiques là, ils ont tué un voisin tout récemment, ils ont pris la moto, laissant une veuve et des enfants.
Rongpong Makepe at Carrefour Petit Pays is calm during the day, but now described as a no-go area at night.
Faut seulement faire attention aux gars de moto. À une certaine heure là,
Si vous avez votre sac, ou bien si vous avez votre téléphone, les gars peuvent venir sur la moto, ils arrachent, ils partent avec.
Some of the handbag snatchers, as he says, come on board motorbikes and succeed to escape even before the victims can raise an alarm. Automobile repair shops are not also spared.
Nous garons souvent des véhicules ici. Bon, souvent le matin, on se rend compte que les pièces sont disparues.
Auto mechanics and technicians around the entrance to the Douala General Hospital complain of missing motor spare parts on daily basis. This general problem of insecurity has been amplified by bad roads and the absence of street lights.
Bon, les zones obscures, les zones qui n'ont pas de lumière et tout là, c'est les zones plus dangereuses dans Douala 5e.
This motorbike rider says that movement in some part of Lokpom is a nightmare due to the state of the roads. Victims of assault who took time to recount their experience have also called on security officials to station forces on patrol in the affected localities.
Peut-être si la police faisait la patrouille normalement, il ne devait pas avoir ce genre de choses là.
Les patrouilles mixtes qui sillonnent un peu dans le quartier et tout et tout.
That's it for today. Thanks for staying with us. Goodbye.